Hey, this is DJ Misuka. Um, we have here the new American Audio VMS 4.1, and I heard somebody having issues with it, so I decided to post this video, and we're gonna go over a few items. We're gonna go over the configuration of the 4 decks, and then the crossfader configuration and setup through these switches here, and then I'll just do a little crossfader demo. Also, I'll go through loops, loop station right here, a couple of tricks with the cues, and then after that I'm gonna show you that you could do some MIDI assignments, so you could load, you can browse your files and load the files right from here, from the sample select button, in case that you don't like the strips. So first of all, we're gonna go with the 4 decks configuration. The first thing you gotta do is you gotta switch off the BMS, and then you gotta switch this knob to 8 outs, and then obviously you had to install the ASIO driver first, and then you have to pick the 4 decks skin. Now the other thing is to remember that these, when you do this, the BMS has to be switched off, because you can't change that when the unit is working. Nothing will happen to it, but it's not going to take the you know, either 4 or 8 decks configuration. So that's one thing that you gotta do. Then the other thing is that one thing is the MIDI locks, which is for analog. You can plug it right there. There's a RCAs on the back of the unit, so you have MIDI lock 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that corresponds to 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, when you're talking virtual DJ, you're talking deck A or deck 1, deck 2, 3, and 4. So I say this because when you go to the setup and you switch to the advanced configuration mixer, you're gonna realize that by default this is mapped to deck 1, 2, 3, and 4. So alright, now I'm gonna go with the crossfader configuration. If you're running the unit and you're doing this, and both songs from 2 decks or even 4 decks don't change and it doesn't do the crossfading, well, that's because you didn't set the assignments here. So let's see here. We have some music already loaded into deck 1 right there, and there's some music loaded on deck 2. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is the crossfader only works for 2 at a time. So the first thing I'm gonna do is here, I can switch it off. So it says crossfader A, it's off, or you could do crossfader B off. In my case, I want deck A to be deck 1 for virtual DJ, and then I want the other one, channel 3, MIDI lock 3, channel 3, to be deck 2 on virtual DJ. So the only thing you gotta do, you gotta switch it to 2 and 3, and in my case I want a fast crossfader, so I have it all the way to the right. So let's do a quick demo, right? Now it's deck 1, deck 2, 1, 2, both, 1, 2, both, 1, both, 1, 2. Alright, now obviously you can apply some effects right here, so you could do Let me bring it down to 4 measures. Shift. So now you have 4. Now we're gonna put the big grid effect, and now we have the other guy here. So now we can do a cool thing. We can, alright. Right there is the demo of the crossfader. The other thing you can do with the loops, remember, whenever you release that effect, whenever you press the play button within the loop, it's going to change the bar. And then go back. The other thing you could do right here is set your cues. So one quick demo, one quick trick for the cues, if you didn't know it, is that once you stop, you could press on the pause, and then it would go to the next cue, next cue, next cue, and at the beginning of the song. By default, you don't need to set up that it comes by default. You press again, now in cue number 2, I press again number 3, number 4, and finally what I said before at the beginning of the video is I'm gonna show you that it's possible to map some of these controls through the mapping section. So in my case, I quite didn't like the way these strips work, especially this one here, because I don't have control over how smooth it is, and sometimes it's just too fast. So what I did, I mapped this one here. So by default, when you're doing this, you're selecting the different samples. So in this case, now it's assigned to the regular samples. Then what I did is when I select the shift and the select, then I'm gonna be going through my file. So just to demo it, that I can do it from here, let me load another one. So shift, alright, shift, and I'm gonna load my room 5, and there it is. Just so there it is. Just to see that all the decks are working, I'm just going to load 2 tracks, one on deck 3 and deck 4, so you see that the thing is working. Another trick I forgot to mention is that you can switch between 1 and 3 using shift and pause. Now I'm pointing to deck number 3, and I'm gonna load a different one right here. So now all these controls right now are deck 3. So now I'm gonna go back to deck 1. And by the way, you see here that the crossfader is only for these 2 decks right here. If you have another one, this is not, these 2 right now are not part of the crossfader. So if I go all the way here, and then I move it here, it won't work unless I do change channel. Okay, so let me just load one for this one. So I'm gonna switch to deck 4, shift, pause, and I'm gonna go shift, select, and I'm just gonna load by pressing the button and play. So right now I have deck 1, deck 3, deck 1, deck 2, and deck 4. Alright, so that was it from DJ Misuka. And we'll see you next time. Have fun.